Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 150. I am B.
I'm Chick.
And I'm Chris.
And guys, we got a special guest in the house.
Oh, I'm Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew Bergen.
We make you introduce yourself over
This
here.
is like it wasn't clear at all.
No.
And like your intro is a little shaky in the first place, and it sounds like you're gonna introduce me.
You
This
know,
is one of our more
and-
solid intros,
And
I think.
also you all have a one name thing, and then it's like I'm Andrew Bergen, which
You're
is
right.
like it's a whole thing, so it doesn't flow at all.
That's
well,
hysterical.
you know, that's
He's
how.
terrible at opening the show. You've never been good at it.
No, I mean, but
Part
Andrew,
of the charm.
you've seen
That
me.
is- that
You're
is-
more of a closer.
I'm a closer. I'm not. You see me.
I don't know. You're a middleman.
You see me every week.
I was just gonna say he's not a closer. He's a
delivers.
middleman.
Yeah, he delivers the meat.
He just
You see me every week at the open mic host,
Uh-huh,
and
yeah.
I fall to pieces right away.
It's
So like, I'm not
not.
good at starting things.
no.
I'm not great at ending things either.
Yeah, no.
Middle is probably my spot.
What are you good at?
Well, I'm good at.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
He
You know,
thinks
I am-
bread. I don't.
What's that?
I said you think bread.
Dude, I don't
making
think I'm
bread.
good at bread. I think I'm trying to perfect bread.
He's good at being interested in bread.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
Spending
interested in
time
bread.
with bread.
Yeah.
I already like Andrew. He's getting all over B, and I like it. Usually Chris is with B against me.
We're not against. Oh, we'll
not
get
against
against you. I'm sure.
Not
at some point.
against. Maybe that's the wrong word, but
you
it
just
just
have more to chip away at.
yes.
Yeah.
That is so. That's
There's
very
always
true.
something with you.
Yeah, no one's safe.
But I do want
particularly.
to wish everybody a happy New Year because this is the
Ooh,
first
yes.
episode of the new year.
Oh yeah,
First
And-
guest of 2021, Andrew Bergen,
this
baby.
is exciting.
You're a comedian,
Yes,
and you're a yo-yoist.
yo-yo.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know.
I was right. I've been saying yo-yoer in my head.
I don't know. What is it? What's the best? What do you think sounds the best?
Yo-yoist.
It sounds like I'm like a magician or something.
It does. It's like
Yo-yo-
That's kind of
or
like
it's
what
like-
it is, though. It's like
Yeah, but it's like
kinda-
it's more like something that you do. Like it's not like
It's-
something
right.
that you're like whoa, like, and then you take the yo-yo out of the hat. And
I would love it if
Yo-yo is. I don't want to say gives you too much credit, but yo-yo is sounds very
like doctorly.
yes,
yeah. So
exactly.
like you're a violinist,
Yeah.
or a yo-yo, or you're a juggler, or you're yo-yoer.
Juggler.
Juggler.
That's
Yeah.
more.
Yo-yoer.
That's more along your lines.
It really like it's grouped into all of the fucking worst things in the
Yeah.
world. There's this
It
one.
is.
There's this one contest. Me and my friends, we ran a contest this year in Las Vegas,
Uh-huh.
and we ran it through this thing called SkillCon. So it's like SkillCon is like all these weird things put together, juggling.
Oh my God!
we
Really?
Go, yeah, we go
This
there.
is like the Ocho.
yeah,
Is
this
yeah.
like-
It was on the Ocho just the
Get
other
out of
day.
here. That's
Yeah.
great.
Jesus
So like,
Christ.
so like but like, so we go there and you go and you look around at all these people. You're like, am I really like this like hacky sack guy? And it's just like, there's like, what's it called when you like throw the thing into the
Boomerang.
Cornhole.
cornhole? There's the cornhole.
There's a
competition.
corn-
We're doing the cornhole
man.
thing, and we're like, we go in and like the cornhole people are looking at us like we're crazy.
You live the real dodgeball life when you
I live
walk
the
in
dodgeball
with
Yeah.
all that weird
it's
shit
exactly
going on.
the dodgeball life, dude. It's
That is a weird thing.
that
you
is
got
odd.
to
That's
do.
like the World Series of circus. Like you're-
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's
World Series of Circus.
World Series of beer pong was there the year before. It's just like, and we work so hard. Like it's like at least when you have something that you do, it's like the jugglers too. You got to respect the jugglers.
course, man. That's
The
not easy.
cornhole people can go, and
That's a backyard game for.
cornhole. You're not
Drunk-
It's a
supposed
drinking
to,
game.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
people who are phenomenal at it,
But
as
it's
opposed
one
to
thi-
others.
But it's like one thing. Like darts are like at least cool. Like you do it at a bar. It's in a
exactly.
cool setting.
Yeah,
did
no,
a-
I agree with
I
you
did
with
a
darts.
cornhole
Darts is.
league.
And
He's
darts
in a
is-
dart league.
Yeah, he's a darts guy.
I'm a
Darts
darts
are
guy.
for weak-minded people.
That's right. Explain that.
What? It's just dart. It's
I didn't
because-
even know how to respond. I didn't see that coming. I thought you were about to praise me, you dick.
No, it's just like Like no one who like plays darts is like doing great.
No.
You know,
No.
like,
No.
even
They're not.
Oh,
even the #1 dart guy, like is an alcoholic. Like it's like you're already.
And this is coming from a yo-yoer.
I'm getting looked down upon from a yo-yoer.
This is how I feel about the cornhole people. So
What are you in the bougie sport of this all right now?
Yeah.
You
So is there levels? There, I guess there are levels to like the weird sports.
Oh, there's gotta be.
yeah.
Yo-yoers can't be alcoholics. Not in
They-
the same way that dart people can.
No,
Why not?
No, because you
You
have to have
can.
concentration.
I mean, you have to have.
Picture a yo-yoer. It's like a nerdy. It's like you'd also be really good at Rubik's Cube.
You start darts in the bar. You start
Right.
yo-yoing like
6.
yeah, you start yo-yoing like when you're like with no other people. It's something you can do alone.
Yeah, you sit in
Like
your
you do it
room.
alone for a long time.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Because I want to.
25.
Okay, so are you a Farmingdale guy?
No.
Oh, all right. Because in Farmingdale, there was a year we.
Everybody's a
talked about,
Farmingdale guy.
We've talked
I
about
know,
this on the
townies
show
podcast.
in the high school where everybody was walking around with yo-yos,
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to be like.
Oh, there was a big yo-yo.
This is like a real
time.
thing. This actually
No,
happened.
for sure. Yeah.
and
it
That's
was,
probably when you got into it.
It was a little bit
He would have been
afterwards, probably.
Yeah,
six.
he's
How-
25.
how-
Actually,
Well,
We're the same age. And
Okay.
they're 40.
yeah.
all right. Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, no. In the 80s, yo-yos were big.
We weren't in the 80s.
the 80s.
Okay.
I love you.
These yo-yo people.
I
that
love
were.
them.
But
Do you come from like a long line or history of yo-yoers? A family line of yo-yoers?
no, you know what's funny? My
Yo-yo
grandpa,
ma, yo-yo dad.
They always used to be like, oh, your grandpa like won a contest at the movie theater. I'm like, first off, what contest do you have at a movie theater? But times are different.
The times are
tough.
definitely
It's like
He
in the
won a
depression
contest at a movie theater.
for being like a yo-yo champ. They're like, he was a champion.
Is that true?
Sad.
But it's like, look, he's a great guy. But like I just it's like he knew at that point, like, to be a yo-yo champion you needed to know one trick and everyone else knows 0.
Yeah, I guess.
So
I
the
mean,
competition has changed.
the one trick is
dramatically.
you have to make it go
Yeah,
up
it's-
and go down and up. Is that the trick?
Yeah, it was like
You had to
it's
make
like
it
if
work.
You can do a loop,
Yeah.
like if you can make it go around the world, you made it. Like if you
Around the world is tough.
Yeah, I mean it's very easy. Anyone
Not
can
for
learn.
maybe for a small-minded dart player.
Weak-minded
Yeah,
dart players.
For a dartist. it might be difficult.
Oh my god, dude! I stumbled one night. I'm watching Netflix, and what's the name of this show?
We are the Champions.
All right, so
or
this
something
is
like that.
this is Netflix show called We Are Champions. We are the champions? Or
We are champions.
We Are Champions. So I started watching it. I watched it right from the get-go. I actually liked it because it was all these weird.
I have to
fucking-
watch this now.
It was great. Like they had one where people were just tumbling down a hill, like just bruising. It was,
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm telling you. We always get lumped into
That
these
you guys-
horrible
yeah.
things. But it's not like we're better than that.
no, you're definitely
We're
not.
like the people who roll
Yeah.
down the hill. And
Get off your
bruises.
high horse, Bergen.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So I'm watching this show, and then I get to the yo-yo part, and honestly, I didn't even think of you. You're the only guy I know that yo-yos.
So you knew him when you saw this?
Yeah, this
Oh,
was
all
a
right.
couple months ago.
Okay.
So I'm watching it, and then I'm like, Andrew Bergen right there. I'm just sitting here. Andrew Bergen keeps popping up on my
Your
screen
Netflix, too.
on my Netflix, and then like you throughout the whole yo-yo episode, which I believe is the finale.
were
You
the
don't even
best.
know.
Wait, I did what on it?
You kept popping up on the screen.
Yeah, I knew that.
You were like in like 8 different scenes on it.
Yeah.
I kept every time I'm like, oh, he's back. You're like there with
Did
the
you
champion.
speak at all?
No.
No, he
all right.
congratulated a guy. He was standing on stage.
Yeah, I was just like a background character.
Yeah.
I like you know it's you can continue and I'll get into
No,
something.
go on. I don't have
No.
much else to say.
Oh, cool. Like it's just like no matter what, I'm a background character. I got second place in 2017 at the World Yo-Yo Contest.
The World
Yeah,
Yo-Yo
second
Contest.
Second place at the World
Damn.
Yo-Yo Contest, and it was in Iceland.
Fucking, that's what's great.
That's
You get
awesome.
to travel, and I'm
Yeah.
sure. Do you have to pay for that?
Okay, so that year I got screwed by a person that I love. But but they were like, yeah, well, I'll pay for you, and then just over time, I was like, I'll get refunded eventually. I never did, but it's okay. But it's okay.
I bet if you came in first, you'd get refunded.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Look, from Philadelphia. You never know what those
Oh, you
people.
never know.
Oh, such trash. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if they're
Yeah, I
very
mean, no,
close with
boring.
Philly.
Philly's getting a lot of hate this week.
but like it was luckily it was okay because of like getting the second place prize was one Mountain Dew.
Get the hell out of it. That was your prize?
Yeah.
You went to Iceland to Yo-Yo, came in second place in the whole world, and
they-
you got a Mountain
they gave me
Dew?
a Mountain
What do
Dew
they,
and
do
a
they like
trophy.
present it to you?
I love it's
Like-
Mountain Dew because isn't that the extreme sports?
Yeah.
The Mountain Dew, the
Yeah,
commercials.
it's like they sponsored the contest. What happened apparently was they sponsored the contest, but like not really. Like they just acted like they sponsored the contest. They gave them like 2,000 Mountain Dews.
they brought a
Oh
case
my
of Mountain
God.
Dew
Yeah,
for the
brought-
world.
They brought like 1 million Mountain Dews, and they gave them like no real money towards it, but they put up a big sign so it looked like we were a
That's
big thing.
hilarious.
So it's like sponsored by Mountain Dew. Like that's what we want. It's like Mountain Dew is like what you give a kid when he like wins in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like it's like I bet you a Mountain Dew.
Well, even now, Call of Duty players are probably making millions.
I know.
With the
there's-
gaming
Of course
stuff.
they are, yeah. And they're drinking like pre-workout before they
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
They're not-
they're just tweaking out on
They're-
that game, man.
Yeah, it's just that you need Adderall and pre-workout, otherwise you can't keep up.
Oh, my God. So
Now-
Yeah.
you were a... It's 2017, is that the closest you've come to be the world champ?
What would I get? First and a half?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2017 was the
How
closest I
many,
got.
like, out of how many yo-yoers are there in the world? Is
I
it
mean,
a-
that year is probably like 500 or 600.
There was a lot on
that's
this.
a
On this,
lot.
I mean, like,
I'm
it's-
just impressed that it's a world competition and he came in second. It's not like it's
Dude,
within
that's
the country
pretty. Yeah, that is. A
or
good
it's in
prize.
That's
Nassau
fucking
County. Like that's insane.
no. It's like I really have always like I became one of the best.
No, you're an elite athlete.
Absolutely elite athlete.
So is this actively going? Are you still a yo-yoist?
Yeah,
A yo-yoer.
Yo-yoer. I'm sorry.
I like help to run contests more now. I
Oh,
did
you're a
Oh, so you're, like,
grizzled vet.
semi-retired.
kind of. I competed in an online one, which is a little bit different.
That's weird.
I know, because it's like the thing that I was good at was doing it live, which is
Yeah.
like so like people
Crowd
miss-
work with the yo-yo.
Yeah, I'm like I'm like, are you two married? And then I'm doing a trick.
Dude, I saw
I'm like,
you.
to her, this broad.
You start walking the dog.
Yeah,
I saw you do a yo-yo. I saw you yo-yo
yeah,
at that one, whatever Renee Fuentes' thing in
yeah.
in
the
Huntington.
warehouse.
The warehouse. I got so high that night, but you went up before me, and people lost their shit when you went up, and it like went with the music.
Yeah.
Like people lose their mind when you yo-yo.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. I've seen it live.
Oh, I
Like,
bet it is.
it's
Oh,
crazy.
you got one of those, like, the strobe light ones?
This is what I need to get a strobe light because this is the question.
Dude, I don't like strobe
Are
lights.
there
People-
good yo-yos? Like
People like don't think yo-yoing's enough. They're like, you need the strobe light too.
Yeah.
They're like, without the strobe light, I'm not really that interested. They do this
you need
every
the
time.
time.
Make
blinking
it
light
better.
on the ball.
They're like, can we make it better? They're like, do you have Molly? Can you give me Molly and then let me watch it? I want to see you do it while I'm on Molly.
Do you? So, one is is your grandfather? You said was the yo-yo champ.
Yeah, and
Don't downplay him.
he was a movie theater renowned champ. They knew him all throughout the theater. You know what's way more impressive? He bowled a 300 once, and he's hit a hole in one.
See, he's
Oh,
a
so
man
he's-
of all. He's a
yeah.
renaissance man of all like odd sports.
That's another sad one. Bowling.
Is that
Yeah,
what you got
bowling
into? Was
is
he the one who
weird.
got you
Sad.
into it? Was
No.
that? Oh, all right. So how did this happen? I'm so curious.
How did I? I don't have a good story. I need
Were you
to
like a
make
natural?
Yeah, you got to figure
I
out.
Good
wasn't-
story
I-
would be like it's in the blood.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, well, I
You
think,
have one.
I think the grandfather and you just now being second in the
Do you
world.
Think, do you think I should just be like, it's like I always knew my grandfather was
Yeah.
a champion, and I was like, I got it in me too.
You could do like, one day I went up in the attic and I found this dusty old box.
Wooden yo-yo.
And I seen this yo-yo and I just started playing with it. And when I found out it was my grandfather's yo-yo and he had played every theater across,
Yeah.
and turns
Movie
out
theaters across the
Yeah.
country.
Every movie theater in Belmore.
and it's in the blood, man. It's just something I was born to do, I guess.
So were you a natural?
No.
You had to work really hard.
Hey, look, at 10 years old, when you're trying to do something, like, this is the thing, like, when you're a 10-year-old violinist, it's like you can learn songs other people made and stuff like that. When you're a 10-year-old, you got this floppy string, and it's just like, I was fat, And it's just like, you ever see like a fat kid do something? Were you a
Yeah.
fat kid?
I was always a
Was
fat
he a
kid.
fat
So it's
kid?
like, you know, like you ever try to do something nice, like dance? And it's just like you're the fat kid dancing.
Yeah,
It
I don't
never-
get like, oh, that's funny because you're good. It's because you're funny because you're fat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also fat, and people just say I'm funny. They don't always go like, you're funny because you're
Well,
fat.
you are funny, but we'll get
But-
into that. I'm more interested in this yo-yo aspect right now.
but-
Yeah, forget about what you do now. We want to hear about what you did.
We want to hear about what you were, kid.
What you were.
We want to know when you were a star.
so you had to practice a ton. You were like a Rudy of
Yeah, you know what happens?
yo-yoing.
He was just in his room.
Just sitting there yo-yoing.
Is
I
it
played a lot
Yoan?
of
Is
I would
that
love to see a
before that?
montage of you, like a Rocky montage of you
Yes.
just
the
Training.
training?
Just training
you
with
gotta
the
come out
yo-yo.
of retirement, and we'll you gotta film like a montage
Oh.
and go up against like a Russian yo-yoer.
Oh, yeah.
and just like you know really get
You
into
know what's
it.
funny though? I lost
and he's on steroids.
Yeah, yeah.
every time. Everyone goes like, "Who'd you lose to? Was it an Asian?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." But I beat every other Asian in the world. It's like, why do you have to get down on me about this one other Asian guy?
Just one Asian guy.
It's one more guy. I beat every other Asian guy I beat people from
Why are
every
Asians
continent.
known to be good yo-yoers?
I would
They
imagine.
just assume they are, but yes.
They're great. Asians
great
are
at
great
shit
with
like
string
that.
instruments. They play the
Asian- yeah, that
violin.
too.
They
They
do
should
the
make
yo-yo.
this an Olympic. I would watch yo-yoing as an
Asians
Olympic
have
sport.
better brains.
They do.
They do.
They're more put
Yeah.
together.
Definitely.
And
better
also,
brains.
but also, more importantly, it's like just like typically they're more disciplined. Americans are
I
not
think that's
that
what it
They
disciplined.
comes
just
down
work a
to,
lot
When you go
harder.
to other countries, they're just more disciplined because they're not busy. Like they're not busy like on Twitter like for 26 hours a day. Like they have parents who like yell at them still.
Yeah.
Like it's like they're afraid to get a bad grade. Like here, you're like, I'm just a different type of learner.
Like if our parents, if we came
Yeah,
from Asian
the kid's
families,
not the problem these days. It's the teacher.
it's the teacher. If,
system.
if we,
And I'm not trying to get into it.
No,
I'm
I
not trying
know.
to go into like a Republican.
oh no, we
tirade.
get it.
But it's just
We
like,
get where you're coming from, Bergen. Come on.
But it's just like when you go other places, it's like people are afraid of their parents still.
Yes.
Like I'm
not
gonna,
here.
Like you want, like you're like you would be a friend to your kid.
Exactly.
He'd be like, "Dad, I fucked up." He'd be like, "I fucked
Me
up
too.
See?
Like if all of us in this room came from an Asian family and they found out we were sitting in my small
Doing
apartment doing a podcast, they would beat us with sticks. You know, like this
yeah.
is not something that any Asian parent would ever be proud of.
It's there's I don't want to generalize. There's some shitty Asian parents.
I'm going to generalize.
That must be the worst. It's like you're shitty like you come from like great Asian parents who are like expecting you to do a lot, and then you don't do anything, and then you're just a shitty Asian. Like your kid probably comes out upset with you.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm supposed to do better. You're supposed to discipline.
They're probably like, I'll discipline myself and my dad.
So what's the hardest trick though?
This is this
Making
is
your-
question.
Am I just basic questions?
This is like
huh?
okay. This is like what's the funniest joke?
Yeah. So what's the?
I feel like that's not like what's the funniest joke because we're not like yo-yo. What's the trick of tricks? Like
There's
the triple
like-
axle is the
The triple axle.
isn't
Can you
that
do
the
a triple
figure
axle?
skating?
Is there someone out there doing stuff where you're watching it and you're like, wow?
Yo, that's next level yo-yoing.
There's right now. I think what it's getting to is like there's like almost. I think like the next level of tricks is gonna be like people doing a flip and like a corresponding trick with it.
Oh.
And that's like where I tap out. Like there are people doing neck tricks with which I'm disqualified from
Yeah.
because I don't have a neck. Like there's people like so I've always stuck to my lane of what I'm good at, and there's like like certain things. It's just like tricks that use a lot of like a lot of slack, and there's a lot of whips. You have to see it to understand.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten laid
You
because of your
saw it,
yo-yoing?
like you saw it, so you can conceptualize what I'm
Yeah.
talking
No,
about.
I know what you're saying.
But like when you haven't seen it, everyone just thinks I'm like I'm up there and I'm just like doing a loop-de-loop and I'm like smiling
No,
like
it's
on
definitely
stage
not
to
that.
like a song. I'm like snapping along with it
we
because
gotta
there's no
see
other
this,
tricks. like
You
like
should
I'm
come
like,
out in a top
There's like
hat.
a
yeah,
song.
like I have a
At
top,
the WB.
yeah, it's like this is like a pretty shit. It's like I'm doing some like doo-wop thing, but then like you really see it and you're like, oh, I mean like this is not cool in a different way. You're like it's like oh, this is actually impressive, but it's like not cool. Like it's kind of like how you were talking about Dungeons and Dragons before.
Yeah.
Like how for some reason people think Dungeons and Dragons is cool now.
Right.
When it's like then you actually play it and you're like, this is not cool. like you actually sit down and play it and you go like, I've been lied to. It's like there's been some sort of publicity stunt
Yeah.
where people think that Dungeons and Dragons is cool, but then you sit down and some guy's like, okay, you're an orc. And you're like, and you're like, so what do I do? They're like, what do you want to do? It's like maybe like just when you do, it's like I walk 6 steps forward. They're like, you're in a lake. You're dead. And you're like, this is not fun.
That's very
Like,
much
I don't
what it was
understand
like.
how to do this.
Very
And
much
someone's
what it
like,
was I
always
did have a good time though. I can have a good time doing anything though.
that's not
Oh,
true at
could
all.
you?
I've seen you have bad times doing everything.
Yes. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. He tries to make himself out to be something he's not. Thank you for calling him out.
God, we can't have people I know on this podcast.
I'm loving him more and more as the show progresses.
Oh,
Has it
man.
ever gotten you laid though, Yo-Yo, or not gotten you laid?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like or not
Probably
coming.
not.
it's
More
never
than
been like a straight path from yo-yoing to laid. It's been like, it's like,
You want to see my
it's
tricks?
just like, it's interesting that he's competent.
Yeah.
It's never been like I'm yo-yoing and someone's like,
You were second in the world.
what?
They were like, you were second in the
Yeah,
world.
I know. Second in the world is so annoying too, because it's
It
like
is.
no one cares about the second best.
No.
It's like
No.
it's like something it's like the second best non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
It's like no one
That's a
cares
great
about the
analogy,
first one
yeah.
either. It's like you got Heineken 0.0, and then you're like, what else? It's like there's the O'Doul. You're like, O'Doul's? Like, I'm going to drink O'Doul's tonight? It's like you have the Heineken 0.0 right there.
Oh
It's like
my
I'm like
God.
a walking around O'Doul's.
they're both attainable too. Like,
Yeah, it's just like I could be O'Doul's.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that's hilarious. Good for you. Good for you for sticking to it.
At a certain point, you're like, there's no turning back. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm so close.
Where's the point where you're like, all right, I'm ready to take the next move? Like, how do you start getting into competitions?
So I started. I mean, the way that it happens is like I started when I was 10. When I was like 12, I went to my first contest, and it's like a whole scene.
Was it here on Long Island, or did you have to like
No,
seek
I went
it
to
out?
Delaware.
You went to Delaware.
Hi,
that sounds
I'm
like
from
where they have
Delaware.
that.
Where?
Exactly. But like once you meet people who do the same thing as you, like from anything that you do, like especially back then when it was like just on the brink of like people really. It was like pre-internet where you can just go online, type in what you like, and find a million people.
Okay, yeah.
So you go to it, and all these other people are doing what you've been so interested in for a year, and you're like, holy shit.
There's other people.
Yeah, there's people
other
who will teach you
lunatics out
tricks.
there.
Yeah.
You're not
And
the
it's-
only one.
Yeah, and everyone's just so happy when you're in a small group like that to see other people
Yeah.
who like what you're doing that it doesn't matter. Like you can have like open sores and like people, like just like bleeding from your mouth, and people are like, "Do you want to learn Spirit Bomb? The trick Spirit Bomb?" They're like, "You know how to do it if you want to learn it." And you're just like,
I'd imagine how that's a conversation in the yo-yo.
Yeah, and
learn
you're
how
just
to
like-
do it if you want to learn it.
yeah, it's just like there's like you want to try my yo-yo, you'll get hepatitis, but you can still try it. And it's like, yeah, I'll try it. There's nothing wrong with that for me.
Oh, that's great.
But
man.
so then you keep doing contests. So I go in the first contest, I'm ridiculous. I get last. But like I didn't expect to be good, and then like slowly you get a little bit better and a little bit better, and then like
And you
start-
also see what you need. Like you get
Yeah.
to a
I
little
gotta learn that
experience.
spirit
yeah,
bomb.
it's especially like in a really small thing. It's attainable to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
But even in a small thing like that, there's a lot of people there, though.
yeah, and there's people who are just especially good, and you still have to catch up to how good
Those
they
guys,
are.
Yeah.
So like by 20 I'm trying to think. When I was like 16, I had finally won like a really big contest in Chicago that had a lot of people in it, and like I won $1,000, which is infinitely
you got in
more than I
second
got
place
for
for the
second
world.
place. Yeah, like literally
really.
infinitely more.
Yeah.
Like
It was
it only
$998 more.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you can't sell a Mountain Dew to someone
That's
on the
true.
street.
This is
That's
also
true.
true.
Like it would be almost impossible if you went outside with a Mountain Dew
Yeah, you
and
got
you were like, "Somebody buy this from me for $2." They're like,
Yeah.
it's a
Unopened.
It's unopened.
a little
it's,
warm.
Yeah, it's just a
It was a prize.
little
It
wet.
was a prize. I'm trying to fly back home from Iceland. You want this
Yeah.
Mountain Dew?
But to make a long story short, so I like got pretty good, and I kept trying to make Worlds Finals, and I could never quite do it. And like I kind of stopped competing really seriously for a couple of years, and then one year I was just like, you know what, let's just go into full throttle. And then like I just like
What
started.
is that like? Going full throttle yo-yo? Like,
Like
what
you-
do? You just spend all your time?
He's just in his
Oh,
little, like,
look. So at this time I was working at Starbucks, so I had a lot of coffee.
Oh, okay.
Right? I had
Nice.
Adderall.
Starts.
I was prescribed Adderall, and I got really high all the time.
Coffee, Adderall, and getting high, man. You could be a world champ.
And then you just
And you have the balls to say something about daughters drinking?
Hey, everybody's got their own medicine.
This is it's like, where is drinking getting you?
You know what's hilarious? He doesn't even drink. He goes to the bar and doesn't drink and just plays darts.
I smoke pot.
Oh yeah, you do smoke pot.
I'm not
You do-
completely
You
sober,
do got your
but
thing.
by the end of the night, I always have an edge on the drunks.
Yeah, that's true. You do.
It's the only
Play
way
the
he
long
wins.
game.
Yeah. I'm sure that's fun. But I'm sure that's fun to do. You're like every time you throw the dart and you're like, what number is it? You're like, I got the number I wanted.
Oh. Terrible sport.
Not fun at all.
This is the podcast of awful sports.
Terrible sports. So back to yo-yoing. Yeah, so like I just decided, I was like, everyone else is doing this wrong and I'm going to do it right. And then like I finally made World's Finals that next year, and then I got second place the year after that. And then I went to China and I got 13th place.
13th?
Yeah, the year after that.
Oh,
So I was
God.
like, fuck it, that's it.
And that's when you quit?
I was like, oh, look, it's
You went to
it's-
China to yo-yo and got 13th in the world, and you're like, I'm done. It's over.
I was like, look, I need to start like focusing on my real life.
Yeah, let me get into stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Well, that's my next thing is, so you went from yo-yoing to stand-up.
Yeah.
And how was that transition?
Two useless professions.
Look, at least like I've made more money. No, that's not true yet. But like very quickly I'll make more money doing
stand-up, of
than
course.
I will yo-yoing, let me tell you that.
You'll get to that $1,000 mark pretty soon, if you haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. I think like I yo-yoed for like 15 years. I probably made like in actual cash like $4,000.
You'll make that with comedy. Like,
Yeah.
it'll happen.
It'll happen quickly.
All
It'll
right,
happen very
relax
quickly.
quickly.
Well, and I will say is the first time I saw your stand-up was in B's
Okay.
backyard, and you were hysterical. And that's when he asked, he's like, "You want to have him on?" I was like, 1,000%. And then I find out about the yo-yoing too, and I'm all on board.
Yeah.
But your stand-up is hysterical, and you have like a nice delivery, and it's almost like you're doing the show, almost like your demeanor when you do your jokes that I find hysterical.
Thanks.
No,
It
yeah,
sounds like someone trying to describe why food tastes good. They're like, it's got a really good mouth feel. And,
oh god, yeah, that's exactly,
when I chew it, it's crunchy.
yeah. We'll
and
get
I-
to that point at the end of the
And
show.
someone was
when
like, "Do you want to eat this again?" And I'm like, "The chef makes other things. Okay, I'll eat that too." But-
Dude, but you are very. You're one of my favorite comics I've met in the last year. When did I don't even know when I met
Decade.
you. The last decade. And yeah, you
Just
are
make
very
it
funny.
decade.
When did
Every
you?
time?
Hey,
No, just forget. Like every time you go, like in the last year, just be like decade. And it makes
I
the
could
person
do
feel
that.
better.
I could do.
Every
You're
time.
right.
It doesn't matter. It's like, of course, it's true.
You're in the last decade. You're the only comic / yo-yoer that I've ever met. So
Thank you,
I mean,
yeah.
in the last decade. But you, how did you get to comedy from yo-yo?
I think that there's a similar, when you're yo-yoing on stage, it's like everyone is just like cheering for
Mm-hmm.
everything that you do. And like I did this from such a young age that I'm like, I think I need more of this, but in a different
it's
way.
like a drug. It is.
It totally is, because it's a weird thing too, right? You stand there, we'll tell you how you're doing.
Exactly.
It's
It
like
is
instant
very weird.
feedback.
It's like if you do that with 5 friends and you're like, okay guys, you're here again, let me just stand over there and I'm gonna just like jump around and tell you jokes.
You guys
like,
sit here. I'm gonna stay there, and yeah. Oh, why the hell do we do it?
yeah.
Have you ever thought about it? I mean, this is going to be real dumb, but you're saying people are starting to stand on their necks and shit and do the yo-yo and do a comic set while
Yeah,
you're yo-yoing.
stand on your neck.
I feel like that's probably harder than a physical, the timing with your set and your jokes and still being funny while doing tricks. No?
Yeah, I'll try it. You're the first person to bring that up.
No, I'm not.
No one's ever even.
You've done stand up doing the yo-yo. What the?
No, every single person that I know has said that to me.
I was just gonna say, there's no way I'm.
There's a Mr. Originality over here.
Oh,
He's like, well, like you should give me a cut.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this new idea.
He's like, I am. I'm the first guy.
He believed it for a minute. He believed it.
He's like, well, I'll set you up with some Red Bulls. We'll send you to the circus.
So how long have you been doing stand up now?
Like a year.
A year. That's pretty. You're pretty good for a year. I mean, I think you're better than me for a year.
yeah, he's been doing this for 10 years, and you're
10 years. How dare
just
you?
as good, if not better than him.
I've been doing it for a decade.
Yeah. Maybe a little more than a year. I don't know, because it cut out with the pandemic.
Do you
Oh,
enjoy the comedy more though?
Yeah, I
Is
don't
it-
know. I mean, like, I like you can't do comedy alone. I like to still yo-yo.
Okay.
Because like when you're proficient at something, it's still fun to do
Yeah.
all the time. But like comedy, it's just so like it's so challenging to like every time figure out what you did wrong or how you can improve.
Mhm.
It's interesting. Like if you can improve, it's fun. If you can't improve, I don't know. Like sometimes you feel like you're not improving, and that's not fun.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
it's
have
like,
to-
what am I doing?
Yeah, you have to keep like re-listening to your terrible sets.
Brutal. Ugh.
I know,
It's the
and you
worst.
and like when you listen to your sets, you're on stage going, this is
Complaining
the
about
worst.
myself.
Yeah, and then you're like you're sitting at home with a notebook out, and you're like, It's like you're like, okay, so the part where I said like, no, everyone hates me here. That'll do next time again because that was good. But
I cross that out. I'm like, maybe I should say everybody dislikes me. I have to try to. What's a funnier word than everybody hates me? Yeah, that's what it's like listening back to myself. Oh.
you're funny. You just like when I see you at this mic, you're just like the entire time. You're just like not committing to anything.
I spiral out of
It's
control.
like watching someone trying to jump into a pool.
He's nuts, like foot first, dipping in, trying it. I mean, he doesn't have any
Confidence.
Yeah, and he says he has confidence, but all he does is panic.
Yeah, but what's good about that is then like everyone else feels like they have to be confident for you. So I've never heard a bad thing about him.
That's all part of my master plan.
Yeah,
Just have
Everybody knows they're better than him, so it's also better to go on his show.
yeah. It's also easy to be complimentary towards people who are not as good as you.
Yeah,
You go like, he's really,
he's really no threat to me.
He's trying.
yeah, he's really doing a good job with a little bit of practice. Full time, he can totally get on our level.
One day he'll be second in the world.
So
One
you
day he'll be
decided to
second in the
take
world.
up comedy when stand-up comedy was basically done, as far as
Yeah, I started and then like I'm just getting into the groove.
Wait, you
when did
didn't
you
start
start?
during COVID though.
No.
You started before that, but you really got into it during COVID.
Yeah,
Would
like
that be fair?
once, So
Would
like,
that be fair? I don't know why
let's
I said
see.
that.
when did I start? I started like the summer of 2019.
Okay.
Maybe a
Alright.
little bit earlier than the summer.
So you had like half a year.
I'm trying to think.
plus
It
a
must have been
little
a little bit earlier than that. Like probably March. Something like that. It was probably still a little cold out. It was
Yeah.
a little
a little
crisp.
nippy.
All right.
A little nippy, but I
cold.
remember you didn't have to wear a jacket. It was one of those days.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're
Nice.
saying.
Oh, those are the
Yeah,
best.
I know those
Yeah.
days. I know
Now,
those
how was
days.
your first set?
It was interesting.
Did it go well?
It went fine.
Where'd you go? Where
Yeah,
were you?
where was
I
it?
went to it was the New Vibe Lounge.
Oh, dude, in
You
Rockville
ever go
Center.
there?
Yeah.
And it's not a bad place
Decent place
compared to
Decent
all the other
place?
places. we
Really?
do.
I wish it was still around. I
Is
don't know if
It's nicer than the Alibi.
Alibi is
Alibi's
a
a
decent.
nice place.
It's a nice
How
place.
dare
It's
you.
not a good place for stand up, but it kind of
I
is.
just like to
I
bust.
like it.
It's hard when people go in to open the door and then they miss it and then they're like, all right, fuck it, I'll go somewhere else.
Only morons can't figure out how to get in.
Yeah.
No, did I tell you when I left here when I had to help somebody get in?
No.
Oh, that's funny.
No.
I walk out of here one day, we're doing the show. I'm actually surprised I never brought this up. And I see two people just staring at it. Now, I've never been in this place, but because of B, I know it exists, and I know one of these door handles is it. So they're looking at it, and they're like, is this place closed? They're like, and I'm talking to her, I said, honestly, it's part of the speakeasy. It's the new thing. It's got to be secret. So I'm like, you just got to try these door handles, and one of them will open.
So jiggling those handles.
And then they did it in like 1 or 2, and they went in. They're like, "Oh, thank you."
It
I'm
is
like,
weird how
"Have
they
a good
have
night."
that whole door thing behind like a storefront.
Yeah, it looks like a door handle store.
Yeah.
It does look like a door
It
handle
really
store.
does. It's a bad execution of an okay idea.
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah.
get where the idea was coming. My
And,
first,
like other places have done it better.
of course,
Yeah. it's just- when you finally find it and you look inside, you're like, okay, fine.
for that.
Yeah.
You know what? But though, this is when the speakeasies should really be booming right now because it's not allowed to go into a bar after 10.
Yeah.
How about you really live up to your names? Open up and hide it, make it a little harder
Well,
to
there's
get
been
into.
some like
I'm sure that's happened, right?
I know
Yeah.
one place that does it, but I
a
won't
place
rat them
by
out.
me did for a while, but they got in a lot.
Farmingdale's local watering hole is still going strong, which is
oh,
beautiful.
a lot of people
Can't
know
guess
what
that is.
Well, the listeners will know.
Yeah. I'm sure you thought there, right?
Yeah, I do. That's my home.
Um,
My team is from
well,
there.
there's been places that would like put like blinds down on the windows, like and just call it a private party, and you just do open mics, and they're at
There's
business
ways
now,
around
but,
it.
You know, there is ways around it. The first time Zach Zorovich went to my open mic, he couldn't figure out how to open up one of the door handles and just walked around the block. So people they can't figure it out. Like it's pretty.
I know, especially
It's a weird setup.
Because
and
nobody
he-
wants to be the guy who can't get in and you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
And Zach's
So
a
it's
genius.
better to not try.
Yeah, Zach's a very smart. He's one of the smartest comics I know.
He's
so.
one of the smarter people in general.
Yeah, no, he is. Honestly, he's
It's so funny, like it's so funny when you're like someone who roasts people all the time, like
yeah,
and you do something bad. It's like
Oh,
everyone's
God.
gotta be like,
that's why I every time I love to make fun of Zach because that's what he does.
yeah.
I got to get him on this
One day,
podcast.
one day he was in.
I get that moron on this podcast.
One day at Alibi, he ordered 2 sodas at once.
Yeah, that's a Zach Zorovich move.
Yeah, and he's like, what? It's like you're gonna like pick apart the way that everyone, like how everyone looks and talks and does everything, and you're gonna order 2 sodas.
Let me tell you something about
Can I say one thing as a soda drinker?
What's
a soda
bothers me-
drinker.
A soda drinker.
Yeah,
What bothers me about that is it's ice in it. I'm assuming 2 glasses with ice. Second one's gonna taste like shit. By
That's
the time
why
you
it's
finish the
it's-
first one.
well, he's
It
probably
wasn't
alternating.
yeah.
Might have been also he'll do a beer and a soda.
That's a weird combo.
Right, that's also strange.
He does do that.
A
Yeah.
beer and a soda.
Beer and a soda. I feel like it might have not been 2 sodas. It might have just been beer and a soda.
I'm gonna stick with the 2 sodas and judge him for it.
That lunatic
Yeah,
has a
that's fine.
joke about this website called Hood Site. Have you heard this?
No.
He's got a joke. I don't even know what the joke is, but he talks about this website called Hood Site. And last night, I made the mistake of like going on this website, and don't do it. But if you want to see some
Now I
crazy
have
stuff, do it. There's like,
That's like telling me to do it.
yeah, I know. It's like people getting shot in the head. It's like one of those crazy.
Oh, it's one of
Oh,
those.
Oh,
yeah.
it'll depress you. It'll depress
Yeah.
you. I don't even know why we're talking about Zach Zorovich on this podcast, but you know what? I think I brought
Change
it
the
up.
subject. Change the subject.
Man tries setting daughter on fire and self-immolates following altercation with his
Self-
wife in India.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
That's the first title.
Dude, it's awful.
That's the headline.
It's awful. And it doesn't get any better from there.
Fuck.
Now that's fun.
Yeah. So, your stand-up career.
I don't know, man. It's just, look, everyone.
Are you
has a
going at it
different
full force like you're going at it with that you went out with YOYO?
Yeah. I just I take the same approach where I feel like a lot of people are like,
You want to be second best in the world.
I want to be the second best in the world.
Right.
But I think that like a lot of people just like approach everything where
You want to one day get a Mountain Dew for all your comedy.
Yeah, I really, more or less, yeah.
Yeah. That's all you could ask for.
I think that I could get even more than that.
Maybe 2 Mountain Dews or
Yeah.
a 2-liter.
Like a
Maybe
2
maybe
Mountain
Maybe a
Dew.
6-pack.
It would be funny.
Never know.
Like, it would be funny if they gave the world champion a 2-liter Mountain Dew.
That would be hilarious.
But they're illegal in Iceland.
Wait, Mountain Dew is illegal?
2 liters of Mountain Dew.
Now you
too
can't
much
have
sugar.
Too much.
Yeah, I
they
mean,
have-
I don't know if that's true, but it sounds
It
true.
sounds
It
right.
does
Sounds
sound
super true.
Like where they're just like, you can't give this to a It's like selling. It's like so much.
It's a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
they tried doing the big gulp size. Like, didn't they try eliminating 32-ounce sodas
Yeah.
in New York?
Didn't
Who
they?
was that?
I think
The
they
Bloomberg?
did.
I think they did. Because
I think it's
is that
gone.
the biggest big gulp you can have, Chris? You have a big gulp right in front of us.
No, there was a bigger one.
Oh, there was.
There
Oh,
was.
yeah.
It was
But no,
literally bigger than a 2-liter
In
bottle.
Manhattan,
I thought.
I don't think you can get a super size.
dude, they used
You know what bothers me about that?
And
If you
look at how
really
good
want to
we're
be an
doing.
asshole, get 2.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I mean,
There's always ways
You
around
can
it.
always get more, but it's like, who's gonna you're gonna walk around with both of your hands?
Yeah.
Like,
Just to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like
What are you going to be, a Zach Zorovich 2 soda
Well,
guy?
a
Come
friend
on.
of
Yeah.
ours used to drink about a
I know.
2-liter a day.
bro, you go through like a 12-pack of
No,
Sunkist.
I'm-
You used to go. You don't
I
drink
never.
soda anymore?
I know. I drink it, or I stopped when I was getting whatever. I fell back off a little, but I'm trying to get back on it. But
Good for you.
thank you.
It looks like
Can
it's
you
worse.
see
It's like
the
crack.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I was going, but a friend of ours, a
That's that soda
podcast,
brain.
drank tons of soda. Like,
Really?
yes, you know him, big guy, Eagles fan.
Okay. All right.
I know he totally did.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
the whole
This is
point
great.
is, it was like it made me. It was so much where I was even taken back by it.
Oh.
Do you when
You
you
were
were
what, like 5 sodas?
It was like a 2-liter. Like, listen, man, I'll have 1 or 2 a day. I love soda, and I'll, whatever. But
Oh, man.
this guy's drinking fucking 2 liters every day.
when you stopped drinking soda though, did you recognize?
Well, yeah, you don't
difference?
feel as shitty. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a big difference.
That's good.
You wake up soda. You have a morning soda.
Oh, I had a morning soda.
He drinks Sunkist because it's orange.
Oh, it's so gross.
Good for you.
Instead of
Did it
orange
have
juice.
caffeine?
What?
Sunkist? Caffeine?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh, orange soda has
Oh,
caffeine?
I didn't know that.
Orange. Why wouldn't it have? I
Because
just
it's
assume it
orange.
has
No,
caffeine.
because it's orange. I only expect the brown sodas to have caffeine.
I think the
And I don't think, like,
orange
cream soda has
is
caffeine.
probably the most unhealthy soda out of the bunch too. With the
Oh, I'm
amount of
sure
sugar
it
that's
is.
in it.
Yeah, it's definitely
I know.
not good.
It's,
That Mountain
it's like
Dew.
it can't naturally occur in the orange
No.
soda. For the other ones, it's naturally
Lots of
occurring
vitamin C
caffeine.
though.
Yeah, big vitamin C soda.
But my voice is done.
Oh, dude,
I lost my
you're,
voice.
You're a terrible
I'm
radio guy.
completely dying now.
Did you guys? So what? How was everybody's New Year's? We talked earlier. Did you guys do anything for New Year's in this weird time?
I did absolutely nothing. Literally,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. I was watching a documentary on the Windsor royal family at the time of the ball dropping.
Jesus
Oh
Christ!
man, you might as well have been asleep.
Yeah.
I just finished the movie, the show, The Crown. So it caught my
Britain
interest.
stuff's so boring to me.
Nothing happens.
They're like, ooh. That's the whole thing. They go, huh. And you're like, and you watch that for 27 hours. And they're like, what's gonna happen next? And they're like, well. Huh.
I've tried to watch this damn The Crown. I can't get past it. It's the
very
most
slow.
boring show.
I loved it.
People love it.
It's a
I have friends
very
that love it.
well written
I
show,
can't
and
figure
it's interesting. I didn't know anything about it either. Like the whole whatever all happened with Queen Elizabeth, and it was interesting.
Sounds like you gained a lot out of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was-
fucking whatever she
no,
did.
no.
Queen
Well,
Elizabeth.
her-
I didn't know
her-
her name.
They weren't even in line to be the royal family.
I
It was
didn't-
her father's
no.
brother who
Why did I say that?
abdicated. Yeah,
Yeah,
you should have
you
never
set
said
him
that.
off.
You
You
get me
started
real
a-
going
No,
down.
I
started
believe,
a
I believe
lawnmower that
you.
nobody
I
wants
believe
to-
you got the information.
I had to prove that I got it.
I can't. When you said that, it was like, I was like, please stop with British stuff. Like I can't even do it. It sounds like the Charlie Brown thing. It sounds like when they talk in Animal Crossing.
Oh my god! What'd you do, Bergen? Did you do anything? for New
I
Year's?
sat. What do I
Practice
sat
your
with?
yo-yo?
No, I sat at home with my girlfriend, and we sort of watched the like ABC presentation of like.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that?
That's what I
No, I
watched.
didn't.
Holy, like how sad was that?
Rough, man.
That was like a live
It was
stream.
rough.
Like there was definitely more exciting live streams going on.
Were they there?
Yeah.
They're there, but it's like they're like, and here are all the healthcare workers, and they're just like, so like, what was the best part of your 2020? And they're like, I watched 1,000 people die.
Yeah. And it's like they're in squares, like they were in these
Yeah.
weird like cages almost.
Yeah,
With
It's
their
so
Planet
weird.
Fitness things.
yeah, and then like sometimes they would just. You know they have like the inflatable tube guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would just like to be funny because they had like nothing going on. They'd just be like, "Now we're gonna interview the flailing guy," and they just point,
Did they really do
then they
that?
just point the
Yeah.
microphone at it, and they're like,
Sorry.
I love when you try and do things
So
discreetly.
I just opened I bought a bunch of I'm sorry.
fine.
I bought a bunch of Guinness. I went to the beer distributor for New Year's, and I got a bunch.
You got Guinness.
I like Guinness, and I had like an extra thing there, so I just opened one, and it made a noise.
Would
I
you
don't
drop them down the stairs before you?
know. No, they were. Listen. I bought like 2 cases of them. It's not. It doesn't matter. But it just made a funny noise.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. That was my New Year. My New Year, I rented one of those a live concert,
Oh yeah, you were saying that.
and it was really good.
What'd you rent?
The Avid Brothers. It's a band I like. It was good. I
Cool.
enjoyed it. I had a few Guinnesses. I sat by myself. It was a great New Year's
Oh,
because there
great.
was no pressure.
How
to
much
do
do they
anything.
charge you for those concerts?
It was $30.
Wow.
That is.
$30.
Holy shit!
Did they release a new song?
No. Well, they had.
You should have just put the CD on iPhone and,
Well,
and listened
no.
to it.
I'll
and
tell you
drank.
what they did. So the first hour, 45 minutes, it was like other people. It was
they said everyone's name who bought it.
I would have paid $50 for my name.
To me, you're not going to a live show to pay for that.
You know
Well,
what,
I'll tell you what they did.
Well, no, I bought one of those, 2 of those things earlier on, not for $30.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch.
I guess.
It was the way they did it was the first 45 minutes they had other artists and they had comedians and stuff like say a little New Year's thing, and then they kind of did like they did him. They shot them like going in a van to the venue. They did the show. It was kind of weird. I don't know. It
you
was-
watched them drive to the venue. That's cool.
That's cool.
You don't get that with a live show.
you
Unless
don't
you're
get that.
kidnapping them.
You're actually you're loading in with them.
Whatever, guys. I enjoyed it.
I love live shows, and I'll never any concert's great, but I can't to do it on watching it. It's not live.
I'm telling you,
might as well listen to the recording and not pay the $30.
But it wasn't like a record. It was because it was they were
it was
there
live.
Yeah, it kind of felt intimate. I'll say it felt intimate.
Somebody's streaming those for free too. That's all you got to find.
I'm sure.
Find the website.
I
You know
also
what it
did-
is though. There's also like the support the artist thing.
Yeah, I
Their
get it.
Thank you, Chris.
if
Yeah,
their
I
whole
support my
shit
artists.
is
You know what?
live
Drop
music.
an album and I'll purchase it.
Nobody buys albums.
I buy.
No, you don't.
Everything on iTunes. I pay $10 a month for iTunes or whatever
Right,
it
but
is.
you
They
know
get
how
like
much they
30
make off
cents.
that?
They
Nothing.
get
But
like a
still,
quarter.
I mean, I pay for that.
Yeah,
they
but
don't
it's
drop
not.
albums to sell anywhere else. They release them on
It's
iTunes.
funny you're just doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
You're like, I buy posters of them on Amazon sometimes. You're like, and they get shipped from Korea.
You got to support the local.
Someone on
artist.
Etsy ripped off all their merch, and I get that.
Yeah, I
Cheaper.
I tipped a homeless man who was singing the Beatles.
Oh man, Chris, what'd you do? Did you do anything better than me?
No,
that was
I
terrible.
just,
apparently.
I was hung out with my girlfriend and my
Ooh.
family, and I was like still kind of isolating.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Can we
so-
talk about that?
Yeah, I'm negative. So.
Yeah, I know you're negative, but
Yeah.
like what?
Thanks for
So,
listening.
so you.
It's so funny when my friend the other day. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
He was like, yeah, someone at my job had COVID, so I have to get tested. And we're in a garage together.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh great. I'm like, you have to get tested, so it's like, I'm the COVID test now. So if
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
positive.
Does that mean I have to get tested
Yeah.
too? Because I'm talking to you.
Then I
This
saw
is
him-
the thing that's funny. It's like one of those comments. It's like you're better off holding that. Keep that to
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
not know than be mad at you when I get it.
Dude, I'm getting
It's
scared
weird.
again. So
Yeah.
you had what? As somebody that you knew.
Someone that I was in contact with tested positive.
Oh.
Yeah,
And when did you find out after you saw them?
like 2 or 3 days.
2 or
after.
3 days.
Yeah.
So
They
everybody
had-
for those 2-3 days, God forbid you got it, that didn't know, because he didn't know, then they'd all it's.
Yeah.
You
Now,
can't
did
wait
she
for it to be
have it,
over.
or she was just?
No, she had it.
She had
I mean,
it.
she tested positive for it. No symptoms or anything like
Okay.
that. But she's young, so it doesn't.
Yeah. But you're
But,
around other
um,
people.
But
so-
yeah, I'm around other people, so I just got a test and just sat in my room for like.
I don't know. I read
A while.
something that they said that they were completely wrong about asymptomatic people passing it, that apparently they don't. I mean, who the fuck
Who
knows?
the hell knows at this point?
I can't wait for it to be
But I
over.
will
I'll-
say
Where'd
that
you read
Jones
that,
Beach
t-shirt?
testing shit.
Where'd you read that? A T-shirt?
He got a
Just
it's
like-
like Fauci lies, people die.
Yeah.
There's a
I
billboard.
read it somewhere.
It said they're lying about asymptomatic spread. It's just I'm like I always say this. There's this comic who's a doctor who like
Yes.
we see sometimes, and I'll be saying something about COVID, and I look over. I'm like, is that right? I'm like, I just realized that like I know nothing at all. I'm sitting next to a guy who like has to like actually like learn things about it. Like what they tell the doc, they're not like going to the doctors and they're being like, listen. Here's some bullshit. Let me tell you a little bit of this bullshit. They're like, this is how you fix these things.
I saw him early on in this whole COVID thing, and we were doing an outside show, and he watched every comic go up and like take our masks off, and then flipped out on everybody. He's like, I see this shit, and I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, he just flipped out on all of us. I was like, I guess he probably knows better than us.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. Who the hell knows though?
I know, and then like at a certain point, I feel like after seeing everything, you're just like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah,
You just
of
go,
course.
Yeah.
People can only last about. I mean, we saw like how long people
How
can
long
last
can you
being
give a
afraid
fuck?
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, people can't last at all. People could barely last. I mean, you were asking people to stay inside. You still have your freedoms and stuff, and people couldn't do it.
Nah.
Like,
It's just stay in a little cell.
Yeah.
And you get all your freedoms. You have all your freedoms just in the little house.
In your little house.
You stay in your little house, but you have all the freedoms. It's tough. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. I work at the mall. Luckily, like no one comes in.
I'm not going to say the mall's probably one of the deadest places around.
Oh, I mean, in the basement of Bloomingdale's where I work, it's dead.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, whatever.
Oh,
So I
nice.
don't mind because no one's ever there. So like I see 2 people a day. I'm behind some plexiglass.
What's it like working in a mall? You ever see some crazy stuff?
Dude, I think I've told you. There was this one day where I just see everyone. It was Black Friday, and everyone just starts running out of the mall, and they're just going like, "There's a gun, there's a bomb, like there's like a sale at Nike. They're like this
Sale at Nike.
Bomb or a sale at
But
Nike.
like everyone is running out of the mall, and I'm on the bottom floor of Bloomingdale's, and when you look up, you can see the other 2 floors. Like everyone's running out, and I'm standing there like selling someone some coffee, and they're like, I was like, okay, like here's your cash, and then I ran out. Like I was just like, it's like I handed her like her $20 back. I was like, thank you very much, and I bolted out the door. But like, it's pretty horrifying to think you're like in like a terrorist active
What was
shooting
happening
situation.
though?
Yeah, man.
What ended up happening is at the same time someone got stabbed in the food court, which you deserve.
Yeah, as you do.
If you're in the food court on Black Friday, they should just be like, you can go to the mall, but someone's gonna get stabbed, and then you go like, okay,
Sounds
that's like
about
my
right.
risks. It's so funny, like it's like people got COVID that day there.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's like one person gets stabbed, and they're like, oh no. it's like actually 60 people died. But they're like, some kid got stabbed by Sarku. And he's like, I just ordered extra chicken.
Oh man.
And then at the same time, someone was robbing Montclair, the Montclair store.
What the hell's the Montclair store?
I don't really know. I was just
Yeah,
thought
I'm not
I was
sure what
hoping,
that is.
but I'm not around sophisticated
No,
individuals.
I'm not either.
Someone robbed a fancy store.
Okay.
It-
Montclair does sound fancy.
Sounds
that's why
yeah.
like
It does. That's why we have no idea what it
they
is.
probably what do they spend like $100 pens or something like that?
No, that's Mont Blanc.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're like $800.
Yeah, that's a very expensive pen.
I showed you my nice pen the other day.
Yeah, that's a good pen. That's a good one.
Quite a good pen. But and they knocked over something, and then like it was like a cabinet they knocked over. It makes a huge boom, and then everyone just runs. But like I went outside, and like it's like there were 100 like I'd say literally 40 cop cars.
Well, there's not much going on in
Surrounding-
Nassau. So
Well, and they're ready for Black Friday for something
Oh,
like
this
Yeah,
this to go
true.
down.
so they're ready for something to happen.
Why would you rob the mall on Black Friday? I have no clue. It's so illogical.
Yeah.
It's
it's
let me
like
do
the
it on
cheapest day to get stuff too, and that's
Yeah.
the day you decide to
Yeah.
steal.
Yeah, imagine you're robbing something and it's like at 75% off.
Yeah.
It's like at least wait until the sale's over.
Yeah, just to give yourself more cred.
Yeah. They're like, check it out. I got out with $150, $1,000 worth of stuff. And they're like, well, it's only $750. Really, it's 25% off. 25% off today. But outside it was crazy, and everyone's like doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and just like you're like
People
everyone's
are
like
clueless anyway.
Oh,
I'm in the like.
And
the
once
supermarkets
one
all day
person
and
sees them run, everybody's
bunch of
running.
sheep,
Yeah.
nobody knows
Yeah.
what's going on.
and everyone's just scared. There's this one woman who is just like, my son, I've lost my son, and like she's like holding like 4 bags.
The funny thing is, too,
couldn't
like,
even put the bags
Yeah,
down.
like, it's like she has a dress. It's like she has all the. It's like her priorities are very set there.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, I care about. Like she's like, I got this nice dress at least to wear to his funeral.
There you go. Look on the bright side.
but I mean, listen, I get it too because I'm in the supermarkets all the time.
Yeah,
and
you're
just-
around people all the time.
and and it's just I hate the public. I hate people.
It really makes you hate people.
It does. I have
Because,
no faith in anybody.
You know what it's like? It's like everyone is supposed to like open the door for you, and just no one ever does.
No,
And you're
people will
expecting-
literally now. No one wants to be near anybody else, so like people will literally like just purposely shut doors in your face, and they don't
Yeah.
want you walking past them. It's awful.
Yeah, it's just like when people don't wear masks, you're like, this is the simplest thing
It is.
you could possibly
That
do.
bothers
That
me
shit
more than
drives me
anything
crazy.
because it's just
Yeah.
so easy.
I watched a guy and I couldn't get a picture, which I was trying to. Some guy walks into a store with one of like the blue masks on, like the regular like surgical masks.
Right.
It's not over his nose. It's before his nose. It's scrunched up, so
Yeah.
half of his mouth is out too. And he walks into the store wearing it, and I'm just like, look at everybody else around you wearing a mask.
It's
And
really not rocket science.
it's just
not-
like, who the fuck do you think you are? Put the mask on.
I saw a guy in Las Vegas with a bandana just wrapped around the same way. Like it's like it looks like a ball gag. Like it's not doing anything.
well, in Vegas, it might have been a ball.
Oh, it might have been, yeah. But like, I'm like, what is like? Just take a look around. Like,
Just
can you
have some. It's just people have to either like put their foot. I'm not gonna do what everybody else. Like they just have to be the tough guy, or it makes me sick.
I think people just want the slightest sense of control over
That's
something.
also, I think, a
Yeah.
big thing. Like
Yeah,
you can't
that's
tell
it.
me what to do.
Yeah, it's like, but
There's also like that weird feeling of like I'm better than you because I'm not complying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not a sheep.
Yeah, you guys could all do it. It's like
yeah, but it's so funny. It's like the argument where it's just like we all wear pants.
Right.
yeah,
one's running-
exactly. Yeah.
But and it's funny because then you think about it, there are people who run around who like they try to wear like no pants.
they
Or-
do.
You've heard about the
Fucking psychos out there.
pantsless guy
Yeah.
over there. I had something like you ever see a thought in your mind and then you go to reach for it and it's not there.
Yes.
Happens to me all the time.
Doesn't happen to me.
There's a code that I need to go into like this Bloomingdale's and I've been doing the code for 4 months. I forgot it. I just forgot the code.
What
It's
kind of
scary.
code? Like the
It's
like a
it's like a
lockbox
probably
or something?
Like
7 or 8
access.
digit. Yeah, basically. And then it gets you into the store.
All the coffee or whatever it is.
Yeah,
What
and
do
I
you
just
do?
forgot it, and I don't know it. So now I like don't want to ask anyone. I want to remember
Oh
it.
yeah.
So I just wait for someone else to go in, and I go in behind them. But it's creepy.
Yeah. that is.
I'm like a little Spanish woman. She opens the door, and I'm like, oh, I'll just
You just shuffle in.
yeah.
It also reminds me of the people. I saw a kid come into the store the other day. They do this now. They just put the hoodie or the
Oh,
shirt.
yeah, the
I'm
t-shirt
like,
over the
I
mouth.
fucking hate you.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I always just assume the best.
I don't
and that they're-
understand
And it
and
was
that they're
anymore.
just
an honest
really,
mistake.
They're just really, really
In
stupid.
the beginning, I got that. Like, I worked at a pharmacy when this first happened, and there was like a learning curve.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, it's been like a year.
Yeah.
You can't wear. Come on.
Figure it out.
No more learning curve. Done.
Sometimes I forget. Do you have masks in like every pocket of every clothing?
Yeah.
It's just about, yeah.
I got
Yeah.
2 masks in my car so I don't forget them, and then I usually wear something like this around
Yeah.
my neck.
Sometimes I'll just somehow like forget all of them.
But
even then
to
I have a
turn the
backup.
car around and like
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
a few of those.
I watched a guy make a sale doing that. These 2 kids walked into his store with no masks. He's like, I got masks, $2 each. Can't
Oh,
beat-"
really?
Yeah, and they
Wow,
were
that's a
like,
good price.
the kids bought them. I was
do it.
like, all right.
And he like touches them.
Yeah.
Like he touches the entire mask.
Put your hand all in the fucking middle of it.
It's like his mask. He just takes it off.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how you're not worried about any other real ailment during COVID? You just forget
You're
about
right.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
everything.
not. The only thing I focus on is COVID symptoms.
Yeah. Like this morning, I woke up and I was like, I can't smell, and then I like blew my nose and I was like, a stuffy nose.
Dude, I think I've said this on the podcast, but I keep like a Febreze thing right next to my bed, and I wake up and I spray it in the morning and smell it.
Oh, that's
like,
not going to give you.
Yeah, it tastes. It's
stick your
terrible.
He
tongue
sprays it and he lathers
No,
himself up.
like I'll spray. That's how paranoid I am.
Damn,
Like,
bro,
with
you're
the
going to get
smell.
cancer before you get COVID.
I know, that's exactly what Andrew's saying. Because, yeah, I don't care about anything else. I just
Sniffing Febreze isn't very good for
Not
you,
a
bro.
good-
But
Yeah.
it's true though. You don't even hear about other sicknesses. Like nobody else has gotten any other sicknesses. I don't know anybody. They've either had COVID or they've been healthy. There's no like colds. There's no sore throats, fevers,
No.
like
yeah, I
pneumonia.
know. I haven't seen anybody
Because
with
it's like
a cold.
if you were to get something else and you're COVID negative, are you going to go to the doctor for it? No, just wait it out.
Wait it out.
Depends on how serious,
Yeah.
you know. At a
If you're
certain point,
dying, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. you're like my arm is like mostly numb. You're like,
I mean,
a
how
heart
much
attack.
mostly, you know?
yeah.
you guys have
Part of it's not. What were you gonna say, B?
Oh, nothing. I thought you were getting your questions
I
ready.
thought, yeah.
Oh well, I do have them. They've been ready this whole time. But I this could be terrible. But I made 5 questions that I want to start asking our guests.
Oh, I thought those were the questions earlier.
No, those were just basic things I wanted to make
Those
sure.
are right off the head.
Yeah,
Those off the
those are
cuff.
real tough
Because
ones.
it looked
You know,
like
I
you were
would've-
reading the
I
whole
would have
time.
thought that they were pre-written. So now we're getting
Spent a
into
lot of
written
time.
ones. These better be good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure
like-
they will be.
You heard them.
I did hear that.
Do you like them or no?
I know. I think they're good.
That's the
All
question.
right.
He's like, they're
So these are like 5 what would you do type questions.
you don't have to preface it. Can we get into the questions, please?
What would you do? I'd
I am
rather
a big
not
fan.
answer the question.
So the first one,
What would you do if?
What would you do if I asked you some questions? Leave?
would you cut ties with your whole family to have everything you want personally and more?
It doesn't work that way.
What do you mean?
I love it. You just pick apart every question he's got.
Well, I
That's-
mean, so everything that you want. So it's like, don't.
You'd be loaded. You can live where you want. You have everything you could need.
But
And
you you can
cut
never,
ties. Never see
speak.
any of your family.
So it's like you do it all, and then you're just like sad and
Fucking
alone.
miserable.
yeah.
I mean, you could do friends. I'll give you, but no family.
Oh, it'll give you friends.
Can you have your friends send like can you have them bring them a letter?
no. You're
Can you be
out, you're
Facebook friends with them?
blackballed from your family.
Oh, no contact at
So
all.
they blackball you.
Yeah, you're done.
All right.
He's
You basically
too
don't.
You're too successful for your family. They can't. So now you're just by yourself.
But you get everything that you could possibly want.
You get that 2-liter Mountain Dew.
Get that? Yeah. You can travel.
I just feel like nothing could be fulfilling if you were like, I also cut ties with my entire family to do this.
I am kind of in
like
your
a
boat
sadness.
too.
Yeah, you're
but
like-
there's people who are like, yeah, my family.
Yeah, you're like, I gotta thank God, and I have to thank the person who let me cut ties with my entire family for helping me win this Emmy award. You're like, because without him, I would have a family and none of this. But I could also have a family and like aspire to get everything.
Yeah.
You could aspire, but you might not. This is
Yeah,
a
but-
guarantee.
I just feel like you'd look at everything and you'd be like, it's just like I wasn't there for anything for my family.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with you. That's.
I think I'm with you too
Yeah,
on
me
that.
too.
And plus, if you answer the other thing, you just sound like such a sociopath that it's not.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Right, because it's not going to happen. So even if he
Yeah.
answers that way, like,
I know that's
None of these are really going to happen.
Like someone's like, would you suck a dick for $1,000? You should just be like, I mean, like that's a little too reasonable. Would you suck a dick for $1 million?
That is very
It's
reasonable.
like you just go like like, what do you want me to say? Like, yeah, and they go, okay.
I always say yes to those questions. Like,
So
yeah,
do
why
I
not?
usually. I'm like, yeah, for that much money, I don't care. I'll do whatever you want. Slurping and burping.
I know $1,000. You're like, is this like an inquiry?
Now, would you rather be unable to have any sort of sex for the rest of your life, or no legs?
Wait.
Is it? Wait, can I can get like a way to move around, right?
Yeah, you could move around. You just have no more legs.
We got new legs. I don't care.
You're
Yeah,
just stuck
it's
with
fine.
wheelchair
Yeah.
strings now.
I've
Rather
seen
not have
Lieutenant,
sex and legs.
Lieutenant Dan got it
They're the
in.
people who like run marathons with their robot legs.
No
Yeah, that's
prosthetic.
right.
You got no legs.
This is the
Oh,
thing
you don't
about
have blades?
this is the thing about no legs. That's cool. If you
I
throughout-
originally had no arms. That should be the way to go.
yo-yo
no
guy.
arms is definitely the way to go because then you'd be like I'd kind of rather have arms.
I'd rather
But-
have arms than have sex.
Yeah, because
there's
with
a lot
the
of
legs,
falling
legs
down.
are just gonna keep getting.
I'm
better
gonna
and
have
better.
to switch that. Yeah, I'm gonna
next
go
person's
arms.
gonna have a tough time with this question. But don't you think over time legs are gonna get awesome? Like it's
Yeah.
almost gonna be
Yeah,
like,
like an
I'll cut
exosuit.
off my legs.
You're gonna be
get these better
embarrassed to
legs.
walk in with these
Well,
meat
look at
sticks.
Oscar Pistorius. Guy won
Yeah.
a regular Olympics with 2 prosthetics.
Murdered his girlfriend.
Well, that's a whole documentary on that in the
Olympics.
30 for 30.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what
think he did
happens
it.
when you lose your legs.
That's what.
Yeah, the heart is actually in the legs.
That's true. I agree. You're right though. Eventually, people are gonna be like, I don't want any part of these original legs. I want the robot ones. I
Yeah,
can
you're
move
just gonna
faster.
chop off all your shit except for like the core.
I just
your
need the core.
brain.
My core isn't so good either.
This is
though,
my
so-
favorite question.
Uh-oh.
If you get caught masturbating by your crush, do you continue or stop?
Whenever my girlfriend walks in on me, I always go, "You're interrupting my programming." I go, "You're. I'm watching my programs right now." She's like, "Sorry."
That is a great
That's
thing to
epic.
say. Watching my programs.
I love that one.
That's a good one.
What we about?
What
about
was the
you?
question again?
Is if you got caught masturbating by someone that your crush, would you?
You're in
know,
seventh grade.
I know. That's what I
Somebody
read
that
that. I
you-
was
you
like,
know, you
Stretch is
crush.
funny.
would you stop or continue?
Is she
you-
sleeping or awake?
I feel
She
like
walks in like boom, opens the
Oh,
door.
I thought
sees
she
you
was, like, next
masturbating.
to me.
Sleepwalking?
Yeah.
is she interested in you or
Yeah.
disinterested?
You don't know. You just have a crush on her though.
Oh, I feel like with my self confidence, I would probably stop.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
Yeah, I
Brendan,
think
stop.
I would
polite thing to
definitely
do would be to
crumble.
Stop.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's so.
He doesn't
it would
want a
be
Louis
so
situation.
crazy.
Sorry you had to see that.
It would be so crazy if you didn't stop.
Yeah, like what do
Unless
you
you thought she was interested, and you're like, this,
And you're like,
huh?
you see-
Huh? you like
I think we
this?
know what he would
Yeah.
do.
You think you see what I could
I
do
would
without
like
you?
to think I would stop, but I don't know.
I like you, but I don't really need you.
Well, that's like,
But when you have that,
You
that
could just
door-
be like,
but you know what
"Can
it
you
is?
leave me alone?"
That's the moment where you realize you got some weird kink.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When
You
you're
don't
like,
know.
huh?
when you have that door open, right?
You
the
should
door
be
open,
done.
You go, you jump.
I agree.
And
Right?
if you're not
You don't
shocked
go-
by that,
This is the thing. This is the real crazy thing, actually. If you hear the door opening and you don't stop, you're insane.
You
Yeah.
are insane.
If you take that
Yeah.
extra
It's not like-
second to turn around and be like, who is it? Is it my crush or my dad? That's a real
I
problem.
didn't think that far into it. All right.
You're like, you're like, I'll take the odds.
also,
It's
where
like-
Is
I'm
that
in my-
Jenny from high school?
I'm in my
where are you
room in my
jerking off
house.
that she might walk in?
Hey, anywhere, right in your couch.
Why the
I don't
hell are
know.
you here?
I know people who've jerked off in some weird fucking places. So
Yeah, you're like, come on, Dad. What are you, gay?
Oh man,
I love it.
that is a good question.
You like snarl at them. You're like, yeah.
So that question should be, if
I might have you rewrite my
if you're
questions.
jerking off and you hear the door open, do you continue or do you stop or do you continue hoping it's your crush?
That is the question right there.
That's the question.
Are you a betting man?
And yeah, that's pretty much. Wait, do I have any others?
You said that one was your favorite. and there
Oh,
were
the
like
other,
two
yeah,
more.
but the other one I have, I'm not a big fan of it after, but I'll read it anyway because I did write
Do you
it.
see his preface?
It says,
ruined
you see
me.
someone
not right.
drop a wad of cash on the floor. You take it or you give it back.
Oh my god, this is such a boring question.
That's what I
Yeah,
said
that's
when
the
I wrote
worst.
it.
This
It
is
was like,
terrible.
yeah, it's terrible. I was
But-
gonna skip it, but you guys made me. I was
look,
like,
I mean, like, can you get to him or her?
yeah, they just walk away.
Do they look nice?
No,
Do they look rich?
no.
Are they carrying a Mont Blanc pen?
If I see them get into a BMW, I'm taking it.
Yeah, you kind of assess each other's situations.
They look
Yeah.
like they need it. You let them. You give it back.
If a
Yeah.
guy that looks like Chick drops a wad of cash, what do you do? A guy that looks like Chick drops
Oh.
cash out of his sweatpants,
I look like I could use
and
money.
he waddles away. What do you do?
You know
Do
what
you
it
pick
is?
it up, or do you
Usually,
be like, hey,
when you give back the money, you like the satisfaction of like having done something good, right?
yeah, and then
Like you go like other people wouldn't do this, but if I saw you, I'd be like, well, he's gonna spend it on like something gross. Like what's he's gonna go and he's gonna buy darts.
yeah, there's gonna be a
I'm
new
like, I-
Wait,
swimsuit.
darts are actually pretty expensive.
I'm like, I really
bet they
need.
are.
I also need money in a better time in my life. It depends on where I am in my life, but
Yeah.
if it's you who dropped it, it's tough.
I've definitely seen
Depends
people.
on the person who dropped it.
Yeah.
I love that answer.
I haven't seen somebody drop money, but I've seen like money on the floor, like a 20, and I'll do the move where I'll just stick my foot on it and move it over
Are you
a
ever
little bit
nervous that it's going to be like the idiot who has it on a string?
with a string. I don't think. No.
Would you chase after it if it
No.
blew
Oh,
away?
God, no.
That's when you let it go.
Also, if money
Can't
was
make
on
a
a
scene.
string,
Yeah, you can't.
No,
make
you
it.
can't make.
if money was on a string, I feel like I would be able to pull it away. And if I couldn't rip it off the string right away,
She's saying you could beat the pranker.
of course.
That's
the
what
thing
people
is
who
that-
try and get
Yeah,
it.
you go for it and then
They
go.
pull it.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
you
They
can't
don't go
beat
like,
it.
They don't go like I caught a fish. They don't, like,
no,
they're
no,
not
no.
like
That's why my technique is different. I don't go with my hands. I don't bend down.
you have to be
Put my
so-
foot on
think
it.
you're that
You
quick?
have to be so
I know I am.
paranoid to think that every dollar is attached to a string.
Yeah, you do have to be very
It's
paranoid.
going to be another one of those string pranks.
And you probably never had one on you.
That's
I don't know anybody that's ever
Okay.
seen a dollar in the wind attached
Also,
to
if
a
This
you're
is
the
fishing
guy
exactly
with
pole.
the
like
money on the
worry-
string prank, stop.
This is exactly like worrying about slipping on a banana. Like it's like this only happens in cartoons.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. No, but
I'm glad he was the first one with my questions because
Yeah.
he's going to critique me and still answer them. So I know where I go with
Do you have
this.
any guests on here who are like, "That's a good question"?
I haven't
No.
answered you the
This
first
is
person.
the first time. This is the debut of Chick's question.
You should change them up every week.
See, I
That's
was
what
thinking
I
I
think.
wanted to have 5 set questions that I
these-
asked.
'cause they should be bad. Like this was good. This is fun.
You need to.
All right.
I think we can find questions for each guest.
So maybe, all right, maybe I'll get like 30 questions and I'll just start swapping around.
There you go. 30 questions.
The last one is probably the most boring out of the bunch, but this
Dude,
is the
you
one
have
I
to
like.
start with the bad ones and finish with the good
No,
ones.
I thought this was the right last question.
Okay, all right, maybe.
But
I'll
I
go.
mean, maybe this is my first time. Live and learn.
Oh,
What
there's one
adult
more.
baby do you think you'd want to hang out with the most?
I don't know. I feel like you're just kind of like a group where you do the podcast and you don't really talk to any of them anymore.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That's a great, honest answer.
I feel like it's like any of you on your own. It's like what am I doing here?
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right.
like
Solid observation.
you're like you're like, am I really about to just get high and play darts at this bar?
Yeah, you're right. We are a trio. You don't want any of us alone.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a great answer.
Solid.
it's going to be hard for anybody else to answer those questions as well as Andrew Bergen did because that was pretty good.
He's got a very sarcastic, but like he doesn't throw it in your face, but he kind of does, and I love it.
Dude, can I listened to the last episode, a little bit of it.
Oh,
Can I
please
bring up-
berate me.
Please criticize.
I think that you should all do a one-man show. I think you should all individually do a one-man show.
That's the one you have to hear. Well,
The one man,
by the way, I said that. I was like, I hope none of my comic friends hear this.
I was just like, let me just catch up on like what was going on in the last
Oh.
show, and then everything. I was just kind of listening to it, and then I heard the one-man show, and I laughed to myself.
Yeah, if you didn't listen to the last episode, I talked about what was it? My last
Last
year's-
year, you wanted to one of your New Year's resolutions was you wanted to write a one-man one-man show. Like, if you don't do comedy, a one-man show is like you go like comedy's not really working out that well for me. So, and I still want to do an hour of stuff.
Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
So like what I'm gonna do is like I'm
Look
gonna
at him.
take.
He can't even look you in the face. B right now is blushing like he's so embarrassed.
Because
I
I
love
swear
it.
to God, I said that, and I was like, I just hope none of my.
So you
said,
take
"Fuck
you take the 10 minutes of material
We're gonna
you have
cut this
and you
clip."
talk about each thing for 6 minutes, and then you get to the joke.
Oh, oh my God! You're absolutely right. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna spite you and write this one man.
No,
show.
what's gonna be really good is that you're gonna have your one man show. You're gonna write your screenplay.
Oh my God.
About a man writing a one man show.
Chris is gonna direct
And
it.
you're gonna have
Chris is gonna
the
direct.
you're gonna be like, okay guys, like it's gonna be you're like 30 minutes in, you're just like, and that's how the first light beer was made.
Oh man! I wish all guests did their research on this show. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, like you turn the camera around and like, we did it. That's how they did it. Before this, all the beers were dark, and now you know how they're light. And you're like, I'm so happy that we could be here on Amazon Prime together,
Oh my God!
watching this document. It's just, like I don't even like light beers actually, but I just found that it was such an interesting story.
Oh God!
I did all the
I
research on
can't
it.
even. I can't even.
You have no idea how happy I am watching. This might be the first time in 150 episodes where you were legit embarrassed about
The
yourself.
second you said that, I was like, "Oh Jesus!"
Like, I haven't seen him really flustered because of something, and this is really, he's genuine. It's
Honestly,
like
I'm not
someone read out loud his diary.
I'm not gonna recover.
Because you know what it is? It's like when you talk about comedy to people who don't do comedy, specifically, you talk about it in a different way. You're doing a lot better.
Oh God! Yeah, you're right.
You're like, yeah, like, so like my next step is just like going on the road for I don't even know how long. Yeah, yeah, it's just like, it's like, so here I am, and it's like the reality is like you're sweating in a brewery. And you're going like, so, like, I don't know, so like, I don't know if any of you like, do you want to hear another joke? You're like, they hired me to do 20, but like, do you guys just want to, do you have any questions you want to ask me? Because like, the jokes obviously aren't going that well.
By the way, that's how Thursday's gonna go.
That's what his one-man show is going to be. Just ask him questions.
Oh God! I'm gonna steal your questions. I'm gonna.
That's the audience.
That's how my one-man show's gonna end. Is my crush gonna walk in on me jerking off?
What situation could you possibly have gotten yourself in? You go, yeah, hey Sarah, do you want to come over? The door's open. And then she walks in and she's just like, oh, hey, Mr. Chick. It's your dad. And you're just like, let's see what happens here. And she goes, where's his room? And he's like, it's right over there. And you're like, you know what? Let me go with you.
Oh God!
And then you have on the door, it says, don't knock. Come in, don't knock.
Not disturb.
Please disturb.
Oh, that's great.
Oh God! I'm glad that this episode is coming to a close.
Well, I before we do wrap things
God.
up,
He's like, I got one more question.
I wanted to do some picks.
Soup or salad?
Oh, that would be a. You should do that. That would be a great closing up question. Soup or salad?
Super salad.
That would throw people off.
Oh my God! Yeah, we're rolling now. So my picks.
Oh God!
The first one's The Ripper on Netflix.
Couldn't get through it.
You couldn't get through it?
No.
Why?
Was bored by the second episode.
It's another English thing, but it's about a serial
I have a
killer in
problem with
England.
English. I have a problem with English accents.
Is this how this works? He goes like, it's like you have a film critic, but then someone who disagrees with them.
Yeah.
Is that actually no, not really. So it's like, so maybe watch. It's the same. It's the same as before. You see it on Netflix, and you'll hear two conflicting opinions.
50-50. You might like it. You might hate it.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. It's about a serial killer in England. It's right up my alley in the 70s and 80s, so I thought it was good.
Nice.
The other one, can't
I love
even
how he
talk.
sums
My
it
voice
up.
is done.
It's like a bad IMDb.
Maybe that's
page.
your voice telling you should stop doing chicks pics.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll chalk. I'll think
people
20.
comment and
Yeah, I
go-
actually get a lot of people who like my. I got one.
Yeah, but
where
not publicly. They only comment to him, which is
Yeah,
suspect.
no.
No, I get him. Shut up.
It's true. Everybody
He's
like
like plenty of
quietly-
people talk to me about it. Trust me.
They're like, I actually also watched the thing that's on my Netflix home screen.
Okay, so
Yeah, I also watched the thing that everyone's
the-
talking about.
the Ripper's about an English person who died at an appropriate time.
Yeah,
The earlier the better for the English.
I agree. No, we have good English listeners.
Another one on Netflix is Last Breath. This was actually pretty cool. It's about this commercial diving crew, and one of the divers.
It's worse than YOYO.
No, one of the divers gets stuck on the ocean floor, and
I
they
did
have
see
to
this
like,
too, yeah.
like save this dude. It was pretty sick.
It's cool.
That show or that or a documentary, whatever,
Documentary.
that freaked me out. You ever
It
watch
really did.
something when somebody can't breathe?
Yeah.
and
I
you
don't like
start
that.
feeling like you can't breathe.
Yeah.
and he was like, I felt claustrophobic. It held my
You
attention.
guys ever
so.
have this thing where movies, when they go, like the character's holding his breath, you have to hold your breath too?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I mean, I don't hold.
No.
I don't hold my breath, but
You
like I
can't
can
hold
see what
your
he
breath.
was saying
How
about
long
it.
did that guy go without air?
It was like a half hour.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, it was like
What?
30 minutes. Well, he had like reserves, but it was. You got to watch it. The guy's on the.
He's on the bottom of the ocean.
He's
like
in the
he's a
bottom of the
catfish.
ocean floor where it's like dark and you can't see shit
Yeah.
either. So he's just. I mean, that in itself would freak
And
me
the
out.
problem was he was smart enough to know that the submarine or whatever it was is going to have a real difficult time finding him.
Yeah, he's
so
at
he
the
made his
bottom of
way
the
to the
ocean.
top of like whatever.
Yeah, it was like a part of the submarine where they could actually get to him if they found him, and it's about they had to find him and then get him, and it was pretty nuts. So it's called Last Breath on Netflix.
What's
It was
that?
pretty
Like,
nuts.
What did you think was gonna happen though?
Well, he
You're
survived.
just down there, but like,
His cord got cut off.
oh,
You have to watch.
He
the
was
whole thing.
attached to the submarine, and then he got disconnected.
all right.
He didn't just go down there to flounder.
Yeah.
Like, let's see how long. I
It
can
wasn't
last.
like
I was wondering, like, I don't.
they were doing. I don't know. It was some science shit.
They were doing some science.
The
It was
last
pretty
one.
nuts. They were doing some science shit. That's your whole review.
Because you know
of-
what? When I tried doing other things, everybody made fun of me. So now I try and keep them short.
We are not going to stop making fun of
I
you.
know.
It's the only thing that makes this good.
Oh, you wanted us to stop? That's
Yeah.
fine.
No.
You want us to treat this
wants us to
serious?
No,
treat
you
this
can
as,
go.
like,
Go,
real
Bleak.
critiques.
It makes everything better.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, they
I'm
make
so
fun of me every time.
Oh, you guys make fun of him?
No, we never have.
No.
He's very sensitive.
Oh no, go ahead. What's the
The last one is The Cost of Winning on HBO.
The cost of winning.
Something you know a lot about.
It's another docu-series about St. Francis High School football team in where was it? Baltimore. Nobody in their in their city would play them, so they had to take like a national.
Why wouldn't they
Wait,
play
why
them?
not?
Because they were filth. They were so good. And nobody else wanted to play them. So they had to,
You got to choose who you play.
no, but because they literally nobody in like you could say we're not going to play this team, and as like a state, they all like all the league nobody wanted to play them, so they had to get like a national schedule, and it's just about a high school team traveling the country to play football.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
What year was this?
2 years ago.
Any pros or anybody making
No,
it?
not yet.
Any
Okay.
English people die?
Any English? Any accents?
No accents.
Anybody
no
end up at
accents.
the bottom of the ocean?
Nope, nobody at the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
So those are my three to start the year off.
Wow, lackluster to start the year off.
Yeah, I don't want to watch any of those at all. I really like those are just like a summary of 3 things I would never watch in a million years.
If you've had too much Mountain Dew or Red Bull and you can't fall asleep, watch those and you'll pass out.
Yeah, I mean, this is-
Quickly.
Yeah, that's on the. Do you drink a lot of Red Bull?
No, none.
None.
There's no pep in his step.
He doesn't get.
I-
high
He
in
does
his
not
own
have
supply.
wings.
I don't.
He's got weights on his ankles.
I just I'm unhealthy, but I don't drink Red Bull.
That's where he draws the line.
No, it gives me like heart palpitations. I'm just not a big fan.
Yeah. When you're fat, caffeine just reminds you of how you're gonna die. Like it feels like it's fast forward on your death.
Yes, it is.
Like I always have a little bit of coffee because I'm like I like to get up, but when I have too much, I'm like this is coming to a close.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mess with coffee. Like I said,
Well,
I
it's
got a
just-
new teapot
Yeah, you're a
this
tea
year.
guy.
Dude, I love tea.
Yeah.
There's nothing less cool than
For
that.
someone who hates
I
the
agree.
Brits, you love
I know.
tea.
I know. It's hey, listen. You hate what you love, right?
What type of tea do you like? Are we still going? And should
English breakfast. Right now, I have an Irish breakfast. I always do the Irish thing for some reason.
we Irish breakfast?
Yeah, no, it's nice.
What's an
It's
Irish
getting a little
breakfast?
strong. I don't know, man.
Oh my god! Have you ever had a breakfast in England?
No, I've
Sucks.
never-
Oh my god! There's nothing
Yeah,
worse.
it sucks.
Really?
What's an
They-
English
Why, they
breakfast?
don't have eggs?
They have like beans
They
first
like
of all.
okay.
They
Dude,
love
I
beans.
can't do beans for
Beans,
breakfast.
like it's like baked beans for breakfast.
Yeah.
Get the hell
First
out
off,
of here.
secondly, they have like these the sausages are pretty good there, but then they make eggs, but like they'll make like a hard baked egg.
It's like shitty.
It's
Really?
like it's like
I
just
had
imagine,
no idea. I've
Imagine
never
you
been.
crack an egg on a roasting pan and you put it in the oven just
Yeah.
until it's
And,
very
and
done.
you
Really?
cook the
and they
fuck
just
out
put
of
it
it.
in a
Ugh.
Yeah, like the yolk. It's like a hard-boiled egg, but open.
Why?
Gross.
It's gross.
It's just like, I don't know. That's weird.
yeah.
I think
'Cause
they
they
just
don't
wanna
have
prove
anything
to
with
us that they
flavor
can
over there.
travel these two.
and then their bacon is like a big Canadian bacon.
I don't like Canadian
I'm
bacon.
like
not
the-
a fan of thick
it's the
Canadian
worst.
Is it
bacon.
ham?
It's the worst of both worlds.
What is it? What is Canadian bacon?
It's just thicker. I think they take
It's
it's
a
a thicker
different
part,
part.
or it's just cut
no, I think it's
thicker.
ham. It's like
It's
it's
ham.
Oh,
got to
is
be a
it?
certain cut. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's
ham
not.
and bacon.
I thought it was
still
just a
come from the
different
same
cut.
animal.
To be honest,
Exactly.
I don't really know.
I don't know. It's weird.
But
Dude, do you have any shows coming up before we end this?
Yeah, anything
I have a
wanna
show the
promote?
same day as your show
I know you do.
at a theater in Hop Hop.
so everybody should probably
that's
go to
cool.
your show as opposed to B's.
No, I mean like it depends if you. It depends if you want to laugh or if you want to see a one man show.
I think my show might be sold out. So.
Oh,
you know,
okay, yeah. So then come over.
No, I
to-
think there's a few more. So you're in Hop Hog, Brandon Lacaruba's show, right?
yes,
Little Nuggets.
it's gonna be fun. Comedy nuggets.
Comedy Nuggets?
Comedy nuggets.
Little.
Little nuggets.
Little nuggets.
Little nuggets.
I do.
I'll be hosting.
Oh, you're
Any,
hosting?
I'm hosting. I don't know how to host.
Any Instagram account, anything you want
Yeah,
to
everything's
promote?
just under my name. Andrew
What do you
Bergen,
like as
at
a
Andrew
host?
Bergen. What?
I've never seen you host anything.
I've hosted a couple things. I'm
All right.
bad.
Yeah. Well, I all right.
Take notes from this guy.
This is the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, don't
I see
watch
you
him.
do it a lot, so I know exactly what to do. But this is the thing. This is the one little critique I would give you is that you have to get people laughing.
Yeah. Well, I try. I'm more better at the end of the show than the beginning. I'm
Yeah.
not a real.
I thought we
positive-
already decided you're not good at the end either. You're a middleman.
Yeah.
He's a middleman. He can do.
You just don't make people leave.
Yeah.
You don't bring people in.
People don't leave when he's on.
No, they
Yes.
want to continue to watch.
People stay. They go, "Where's this go?
Where is
It
this
must
going?
get better
Where's this
than
train
this.
taking us?"
That's true. Well, this Thursday you could see me squirming around for 25 minutes.
I honestly, I wish I could go to this one.
I found
you
it.
go. You
He
wanna
said
go
it's
with
sold
me?
out.
I think there's probably a
with
couple
me?
more tickets left.
What?
Do you want to go with me?
What do you mean? You have an extra
To be
ticket?
sure? No, I want to buy.
He doesn't. He said it.
I
he
think
said
there's
we
like
can't.
maybe a 2 or 4
I
more.
do want to
tickets.
watch. I honestly just to see him do a half-hour set, and he last. Did you listen to the whole episode where he said he doesn't have 30 minutes, and
Yes,
now he's
I'm
got to
very
do a
excited to
25
see
minutes
this.
set, and I love it.
Yeah, he said he got a solid.
Or no, he
20.
said he has 30.
I
he's
have
got
30
a bad
minutes, but
half
it's
hour.
not good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw everything at the crowd. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna go. My plan for this is like, all right. So I'm gonna go slow, and throw everything I've ever done. So it's gonna be a lot of jokes that are pre-COVID
We've all
jokes.
heard.
You're gonna-
Right.
Isn't it wild when you're on the subway?
The subways,
You're gonna bring in who was Mimus? Yeah, what the fuck was the name of the cab?
Gonna do 3 minutes on skip. It.
Seamus, Skip it.
Seamus.
Oh, all those
Skip
would be
it.
part of it.
The skip it joke I hate, but it's all right.
I
get-
skipped it.
First of
Edit
all,
that out. Edit that out.
it's 7 times. I skipped
Sorry.
it. Or 8 times. I don't even know.
You don't even
You
know.
keep lying to get yourself better.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Well,
but this is the perfect time to do the one man show thing.
this is gonna be very one-man show.
You
Because
could
between
Yeah.
like the
I
the
love that he
trivia
won't let
thing,
it go.
Yeah.
You talk about your kidney stuff.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they get everyone really sad.
Yeah.
And you go. So then I brought this girl to trivia.
that's exactly how it's gonna be. It's
You know
gonna be a
what you could
mishmash of weird ideas.
You could be like Dice and just do all your
Ow!
old jokes and just have the crowd yell the punch.
Chris,
'Cause
we
everyone
gotta tape this for him.
We could tape it.
Oh, you have to buy tickets. So you can buy tickets to that, or you can see Andrew at Comedy Nuggets in Hop Hog.
Yeah, I'll post about it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I know you will. All right, guys.
We're not. We got to figure out how to end shows better. Only 150 episodes. You still can't figure it out.
we don't know.
It's been a very slow end.
Yeah,
You
it's
need-
like killing.
Yeah, you need to just cut it and just remember that you can talk afterwards amongst
You're
yourselves.
right. You're absolutely right. Well, guys, if you made it this far,
Thank you for listening.
before we end, Chick, can you go right to that underneath there? There's a little box. We have a present.
Oh.
We have a gift.
Oh, yes.
Nope,
Wait,
that's
where?
not there. That's masks.
It's like a bunch of COVID, man. Thank you so much.
I just got COVID.
Yeah, we
a
thank
gift.
you, Andrew Bergen. Follow him. Well, I'm sorry. What is your Instagram again?
It's at Andrew Bergen.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I said it before, and now you're acting like I didn't.
You know,
say it.
that's not how to
did
act
say
when
it.
somebody gives you a gift
What? Oh,
with a snippy attitude.
I'm sorry. Thank
I
you.
love him giving you an attitude. Keep going.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you have a mug for
Good luck
from
getting
us.
it out of the box. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
no, that you'll be able to get that out by episode 151.
I wasn't in thank you mode yet.
No, I get it. I'm just joking. All right, guys.
It
Well,
sounded like you were serious.
if you
If you made it this far, thanks for listening.